All right, we're live on Facebook
Again.
So we were on earlier at 2 o'clock. Let me see, what did it say? Okay, good. We were on earlier at 2 o'clock, and we did the whole 15 minutes, and we were super excited. Come to find out, it didn't go through.
So we talked to ourselves for 15 minutes.
Yes, it was a lot of fun.
So thank you to those of you that were texting and saying, hey, what happened to the video? So here we are, 9 o'clock.
We're
Not
back.
as fresh.
No, we're actually a little tired, but that's okay. We were calling this home team. Obviously, I'm sorry, we didn't even introduce ourselves. I'm Dr. Raul. This is my wife, Jessica.
Hey, guys.
And this is a home team. And what we want to do is that we're here because we care about your family. And we want this to be the 10, 15 minutes where this isn't by us or for us. This is really for you guys. And it's driven by your questions, by your comments, by your input. So over the last 6 years, I've been able to help thousands of patients with their health and with their challenges. And I get a lot of questions, and we want to share some of those answers, how we do things at home with you guys. So
welcome to our house. This is 9 o'clock at the Serranos. We're at our kitchen table. But like we said before, like we call this home team because I think we all kind of have a common purpose, and that's we all want a healthy home, and we're working towards that. So we're here just to walk alongside you. There's really three main challenges that at least we face when we're trying to create a healthy home, and there's like physical, spiritual, and mental challenges. So today we're going to start with the mental aspect, and we titled this the 5-step setup, and it's really the thing that we do to build success in whatever area of our life it is, family, financial. It's kind of the back end. One of the main questions we get a lot, or at least I do, I'm sure he does as well, is, so how do you guys do it all? You're so busy. And I'm always responding to that like, really, I don't really feel that busy, and I feel like I have a pretty simple life. I'm joyful, and yes, we have pretty full calendars, and we're doing a lot in the community, but I think what it really comes down to is we are not promoting busyness. That is not in our agenda, to be busy all the time, to be doing.
People look, like she said, it says busy. Hey, you're always busy, you're always busy. We're like, well, you're doing all these different things. We don't feel that way because there's purpose behind it. We understand that we want to leave there's a legacy we want to leave behind, and that's what I think the difference is. When you have a purpose, when there's purpose behind what you're doing, it's not just busyness for busyness' sake. It's that, hey, there's plans that we believe God put us on this earth to accomplish. There's things that He wants us to do. So,
for sure, and I think part of that too is on the other end when people see you doing a lot and maybe working multiple jobs and homeschooling 3 kids and cooking every day and all that, they're like, oh, you do so much, and they see like the output, but they're not seeing the input. And we talk a lot about, in order to pour out into people, in order to live a legacy and have a purpose, you have to be filled before you're able to pour out. And number one thing I see with moms, and I was here myself, was you are running on empty, and you're trying to pour into your family and your spouse and your business, and you've never taken the chance to fill you up. So that brings us to today's episode on the 5-step setup. I guess we're going to call it an episode. But besides sharing with you step 1, we are also going to be sharing a little bit later at the end. Stick around. We're going to have Raul's favorite breakfast.
My favorite new breakfast. So what happens is here's. But by the way, it doesn't matter when you're watching this. Most people are going to watch this way after this has been already the live feed. But you can still hit the like button, hit the share. Every time you do that, it's going to help spread this message and get this message of health into the community. So I want to
thank you guys for already sharing the video and for tuning in.
And then say hi. Just put on there. Hey, say we're here. So one of the things that on the little bottom it says the number one reason people fail, or when it comes to their health goals or initiatives or any goal for that purpose. And before I answer that, I kind of want to go back, because when it comes to your health, or when it comes to anything that you're doing when you're setting up goals, you have to realize that there's a full equation for that. There's a full health equation, right? And the full health equation, see, when I put a goal down, or when I see patients, a lot of patients that put goals down for their health, they focus on 1/3 of that equation. We know that what their focus is most of the time is the physical component, the physical part of that. That physical, like if there's a weight loss goal, that's a physical thing. What they forget to do is that the body, it's physical, it's body, right? But it's mind and spirit. And if you only focus on that 1/3 of the physical, you're missing the other 2/3. And that's why that's the number one reason people fail when it comes to their goal. And it's not just health, this is financial as well, right? When you think of money, we want to get out of debt, save X amount of money, but that's a physical thing. What we don't remember or we forget is that there's a mental side to money, right? If you're in debt or you don't have enough money, that affects your mentality, right? You go from an abundant mentality to a scarcity mentality. And then even the Bible says and talks about this, and it says that the love of money is the root of all evil. It doesn't say money's evil, it's the love of it. So now it becomes a spiritual thing. So you can see that those three aspects are kind of interwoven in any area of your life. So for us to have success in any area of our lives, we've put together a 5-step process we've gotten from different mentors and different people that pour into us. And I'm going to give you those 5 steps. Yeah, if you're on there, just like, continue to share this, and just say hi to us. And if you have any comments at all as you're going through, we're going to answer questions here live. So just put any questions that you might have there as well. So let's
get to step 1.
You go ahead. Go to 5 steps.
What
are the 5 steps?
So we have step 1 is how to fill up. What we were just talking about, in order to pour out, we need to fill up. So we're going to be talking about a little bit about that tonight. And then number 2 is to measure the gap. Number 3, we'll be talking about how to dream big. Number 4, creating patterns. And then number 5 will be the infamous war plan. So that'll be coming up last. So
over the next couple of weeks, we're going to go through the 5 steps. So we're going to cover 1 tonight. We'll probably cover 2 next week, and then 2 and a couple of the following week there. So number 1, filling up. Go ahead. What are you filling up with?
So the first thing is you have to understand, in this kind of chaotic world, we are so inundated with Facebook, our social media, and we're constantly hearing like loud noise of culture, and we sometimes forget how valuable the space of our mind, like in our house we call it like sacred space, the real estate. There's only so much of it, and we are super intentional about what we're allowing into our hearts, into our minds. And I think there's a reason why in the Bible they use the verb guard your heart and mind, because it really is a daily spiritual battle. So like I was saying, we're just really intentional about what we put into our minds and into that space. In our house, one of our mottos is to speak truth in life. So you kind of have these 2 categories that you're allowing in your hearts and your mind. You have truth in life, and then of course you have death. And that's also where you get the negativity, the doubt, the insecurities. So you have these 2 kind of competing voices that happen a lot in culture. So of course we want to focus on that truth in life. And I'm a teacher, so a lot of my background is in teaching, and this was a big deal when it came to your students and just pouring into your students. We were constantly trying to speak truth and life into them because we're with them, 6 hours a day, and having to, teach them. So we have this ratio, I'm sure you guys have heard about it, of positive interactions to negative interactions. And to have like a really healthy child in your classroom, you need, I think a lot of times they say like a 2.5 to 1 ratio. I think that's a little bit low. But they were saying at least like 3 interactions to every 1 negative interaction that they had in their day. So we're constantly, giving positive reinforcement. I've seen articles that go a step further and say optimal functioning, you need like 4.3 to 1 of positive to negative, of truth and life to that negativity. And then of course in marriage, this is my favorite that I showed you.
I'm working on this one.
It's 5 to 1. So 5 positive interactions to every 1 negative. So, as a teacher, I got to kind of control that situation for my students. As adults, we are constantly seeking out that truth in life over that negativity. So I just want to share
So step 1 is filling up. And how do we fill up? And this is when I would love your comments and feedback, because it's not just like what I do is not right or wrong. This is just what I do, what I've learned over the last 6 years that helps me. I want to know how you guys fill up. What are some of the tools that you use? For me, it's my vision board. And earlier, I took a picture of the vision board, and I'm actually going to post it in the comments after we post the video. And the vision board, when you look at it, it might not even make any sense to you. And to have on the top, it's leadership. Well, I want to become a great leader for my family, my patients. On the right-hand corner, there's a $2 bill that's there to remind me that money's it's just this physical thing. It doesn't really mean anything. To me, it's just a way that we use for us to give back and be in the community. So vision boards was one.
And vision boards, just to clarify, because I don't know how many
Good.
people, we do this with kids a lot too, is it's just like a bulletin board, and we've cut out magazine articles, scripture, things we printed out, and it's just kind of like a visual representation of our dreams, our goals, our vision, that positive like legacy and purpose that we want to keep going back to.
I have a poster or a little printout on our shower that it's the 20 cans of success. It's biblical scripture that goes through what are the things that I can accomplish through Christ in me.
Hey guys, everybody signing in.
Yeah, if you're signing in,
Like
make sure you share this. Help us share the message, like it. Podcast is a big one for me. I am constantly on podcasts. She gets a little annoyed with me because I can't get in the car without putting the podcast on. Sometimes she wants music. And I'm like, I don't really know if I want to listen to music. But anyways, here's a couple of the podcasts that I absolutely love. I don't watch any news. Well, I think the last time I watched the news was in November during the election. That was it. Maybe after the Super Bowl I watched it once. But so I get most of my news. It's this guy called Albert Mohler. He has this podcast show called The Daily Briefing, and he'll take the top news things out there, and he'll in 15-20 minutes go through and give you, as a Christian, what's the biblical view for that? Like, what should you be thinking about with those headlines? And I don't watch them all. I just kind of scroll through and I'll pick like, hey, this is a headline that interests me. So Michael Hyatt is another one. I love his stuff. It's about life and purpose and passion and going towards your goals. I love Michael Hyatt. Once again, if you guys have anything that you guys use, please post them and help the group here. Mentors. Like, we should all have mentors. I don't care where you are in your life, if you're young, old, everybody should have mentors. There's always people that are ahead of us in life that we should be striving towards and looking at. So
I have a couple. I'm going to join in.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I know one thing with us is there's so much culture going on, and I'm feeling old already just to have to keep up with like the chats and all this kind of stuff going on. With culture, we don't watch a lot of TV, like we said, so we actually use a magazine. I'm going to totally plug this one. This is called Relevant Magazine. They have great music. People are out there, books that we could read, so we really stay connected just using the Relevant Magazine, and it has a lot of things from biblical worldview as well. For me, a lot of apps. I'm really intentional about what I'm putting on my phone. So If Gathering, we're actually having a local If Gathering on Saturday at Harborside if you guys are interested. But If Gathering has...
That's for women. That's for women.
It's a women. I'm sure you can attend. So If Gathering is a great app just for truth in life. Another one is The First Five. Check that one out. First 5 minutes of your day. Just getting into the Word. A couple other things I do. Oh, Instagram. Instagram for me is not necessarily just my friends to take a look at pictures. I've set up my Instagram so it's only mentors. It's people that I admire, from like hand lettering to teaching to parenting, just those people I admire on my Instagram account. So
the last thing, and this is where the meat is today, the step number one, to get to any goal, you have to fill up. If you can't give what you don't have. So for us, the one thing that we absolutely do, and if you don't take anything else today, this is what I want you to walk away with. It's the spiritual triathlon. If you know anything about a triathlon, the race, there's 3 parts to it. There's a run, there's a bike, there's a swim, not in that order, but there's three different phases. Your spiritual triathlon also has 3 phases. Number 1, this is something we do every morning. A minimum of 15 minutes is what I recommend, and you do 5 minutes of each. Number 1 is you get in the Word. You open up that Bible. You start reading that Bible. Hey, Alex, I see you on there, man. Thanks. And Gamo. So you read 5 minutes of the Bible. The second part of that triathlon is 5 minutes of prayer, of just gratitude and prayer. And then the last 5 minutes for me, it's meditating or journaling. And that is something that I absolutely do every single day, because like I said, the reason people look at us and say, wow, you're doing so much, how can you do all this? It's because we are filling ourselves up so that we can go out there and continue to give and share and love on people as much as we can. But it doesn't happen if we don't fill up. So number 1, fill up. Number 2, the step that we're going to go over next week is we have to measure the gap. Number 3 is dream big. Number 4, create the pattern. And number 5 is war planning. These are the steps we go through on a consistent basis to know that we're on purpose, we're fulfilling our legacy and our dreams, and really making an impact in the world.
So just to sum it up and just encourage you guys, I know this is 9 o'clock at night, so maybe right now go on your phone, set your alarm for 15 minutes earlier and just start off your day with those 15 minutes and maybe give us feedback tomorrow on how your day was a little bit different as a result of that. Definitely try that out.
Awesome. Last thing I want to give you guys, I told everybody, people were asking, hey, you guys are going to talk about health and spirit and mentoring and all this. Can you give me, I had a question, what's a good breakfast, a good healthy breakfast that's low in sugar and just great to get your day started? And I got this from one of the boxes I get. I get boxes all the time here just with trying new things.
I'll hold it up for you.
The Keto and Company. They have this product, it's called, I don't make any money off of this. It's one of the cheapest things out there, actually. It's Keto Hot Breakfast. You can't see that on there, but it's Keto Hot Breakfast, and essentially it's like an oatmeal or a farina
or a mush,
or a mush, but it's made of organic coconut flour and psyllium husk. Psyllium husk alone, if you just Google that, it's just fiber. It's been shown to lower cholesterol. It helps with mobility. So if you're not going to the restroom regularly, which I see that a lot with a lot of patients, a lot of kids, they get on antibiotics, and a couple of weeks later, their bowels aren't moving properly, and then they're putting them on medications for that. So we can stop this with psyllium husk. Now, this is the plain one. They have some flavored ones, but I'm going to give you my recipe. I heat this up. I follow the instructions. You put the coconut oil in there. I put some cocoa, some stevia, and then I put a big glob of peanut butter because I believe there's 2 things in this world that can make everything better. What? There is. It's peanut butter and hot sauce. Everything can be better with that.
So tell them where they can find us. So
yeah, you're gonna have to go to the website.
So Keto, Keto, and Company, Co. Keto and Company.
I'll put it in the comments below. I'll put a picture of my vision board. I'll put the link to this, and you don't have to do the peanut butter chocolate thing that I do. You can put berries in there, whatever you want, and it's just a great breakfast. So hope you guys enjoyed this. We will be here again next week at 2 o'clock on Monday, and then just share it and like it. We just want to get this message to the community, and we're going through the 5 steps that we believe can really bring success to your life in any area. So thank you guys.
Have a great night.
Have a good night.